Hey, welcome back. This is day 7 of the 12 days of Christmas, and today we're going to be talking about time management. If you struggle with time management and you're always struggling to get things done, then let's discuss it here. I've got some tips for you. So there are 3 major things that when I find myself struggling with time management that come up for me. Let's see if they resonate with you. Number 1, I feel like when I'm poor at time management, it's because my priorities are not really aligned. That means I'm spending more time on things that are not really the priority, but I'm running out of time because I'm choosing to prioritize things in a way that's not helpful. Number 2, my focus isn't on point. I know that when my back's against the wall, I have a deadline, there's something pressing. If I focus on it and I laser in on it, I can be really effective when it comes to time management. But when I'm distracted, then I'm not focused. And so focus is the key thing that gets in the way of me being productive. And then reason number 3 is I'm just simply unmotivated. If you say that you're going to make it a priority to lose weight and you simply just are not feeling like going to the gym and it's not something that you are lit up about and you're not excited to go, which I know a lot of you would say, well, who's ever excited to go to the gym? Well, if you come up with a goal, that's one thing, but if you get excited around achieving that, then you're gonna wanna be excited about focusing on it, excited about prioritizing it, and motivated to actually be good on your word, right? Motivation is a key factor to make sure that you are making sure that you're allotting for the right things around managing your time. So I have 3 tips that I want to share. They're going to sound super remedial and simple, but I think that they're still the biggest struggles that get in the way of us feeling really accomplished around managing our time properly. Number 1 is planning ahead. I cannot tell you how many times I have trained students, people looking to grow their business. They've taken a class with me. I've met them in person. I have spent a week with them at a retreat. We'll go over things and we'll come up with great strategies. And then all of a sudden, when they find themselves kind of struggling to be successful, they come back to me and say something's not working. Every single time I reconnect with them, what I find is that they stopped planning. They stopped planning to look at their numbers. They stopped planning ahead for promotions. They stopped making the time and they stopped slowing down to be able to speed up. So what does that mean? I say that all the time. You have to slow down in order to speed up. Sometimes we get caught up in the rat race when we are not prioritizing the things that are important, when we're procrastinating, we wind up struggling for time or being time starved. When you get time starved, then your priorities start to shift. Now you're so busy putting out fires that you don't have time to be in a good rhythm and be consistent with the things you know you should be doing to not get yourself there in the first place, right? So at some point, if you're caught up in this rat race, you have to press pause and you have to stop and you have to reprioritize, get refocused, figure out what things you should be making a priority, and then figuring out what this motivation is going to be that's going to help you stick to it and be consistent. So slowing down to speed up so that you can plan ahead. And I'm talking plan ahead for promotions, plan ahead for new products, plan ahead for the holidays, plan ahead for your employees or you to have time off. So much of being a business owner revolves around planning, yet that seems to be the number 1 thing that we don't make time for, which makes us scramble for time in the end. The next tip, number 2, kind of goes hand in hand with number 1. So if number 1 is slowing down to speed up, meaning you've got a plan, number 2 is creating a schedule. So I'll give you an example because we talked about preparing for the holidays, preparing for upcoming promotions, and doing all this preparation, right? Well, we can't do that unless we have a schedule. So for me, every Monday, I'd go into my bakery, I'd pull all the numbers, and I would assess like what happened over the weekend, who do we need to reach out to. Monday was my day to be really strategic. I think every business owner should have one of those days. Every first Monday of the month was the day that I would sit down with all of my last year's numbers and I would be planning for the following month. So for example, if it's November 1st, it's the first Monday in November, I have pulled everything that I did last year in November, December, January, and I am now looking at that data to tell me what things would be helpful for me to plan for my upcoming December, January, and February. Does that make sense? So I am making it a point to schedule the time to plan ahead. This is the number one issue I see in the baking industry, besides pricing, is that we don't want to schedule things and we don't want to plan things, and we don't give ourselves the ability to kind of foresee the things that are coming up, and we're not prepared for these things. Those things lead to a lack of time management. It makes it feel like everything's so heavy, you're always behind on things, and it makes you feel like you can never get ahead. So again, you gotta slow down to speed up, you've gotta plan accordingly, and you've gotta stick to the plan. The third thing is consistency, because I know that they sound remedial and super simple, and to be honest with you, these are simple tips, but simple doesn't mean easy. We know that consistency with anything is key, but yet it's the thing we lack the most. I'll give you another example pertaining to a diet. People go on diets all the time. We have no problem finding the motivation. Yes, I wanna lose weight. I'm committed. I wrote it on my vision board. I'm gonna go to the gym. I bought some new workout clothes. You do all this planning and preparing to lose the weight, but we all know that none of that stuff is actually gonna give you the results. The results are gonna come from consistency. And you're not going to be able to hit the gym for 1 week or diet for 1 week and see these great results. The results don't actually come until week 3 or week 4 or month 2 or month 3. And so we know that in everything we do, consistency is key, and it's no different in your business. So I hope these tips help you, but I wanna know if you have some New Year's resolutions to get better at time management, and which of these 3 categories seem to be the biggest problem for you. Is it slowing down to speed up, scheduling stuff so that way you know what you have to look forward to and making commitments? Or is it being consistent with the schedule and being consistent with the things that you are supposed to be prioritizing? So let me know in the comments. Let's open up some dialogue, and I will see you in the next video for day 8. Bye.